Mr. Bryan Cranston, who was last year's Tony Award-winning recipient of Best Actor for All the Way. You're back this year. Good to see you, Bryan.
What do you remember most from that night?
Oh my gosh, it was such a surreal moment. I was sitting there after 8 shows that week,
Right.
as you both well know, and I was so tired that I felt like I was in a different world, and it's like, and I had to keep saying, I'm at the Tonys and I'm nominated.
Yeah, man.
It was like, what?
Yeah.
And when they said my name, my heart started beating so fast and it got up into my throat, and I honestly don't remember the speech I gave. I'm sure I forgot to thank the theater wing and everybody else, but it was such an honor.
I'm sure they understand.
It's a huge moment.
But this time is a little different because this time you're here sort of as a producer. You're one of the producers on Finding Neverland.
Yeah.
Of all the projects that are swimming your way, what about Finding Neverland really kind of grabbed you and said, I really want to have a piece of that and be part of it?
It's just a sweet story. It's a story that goes back as far as you can remember as a child. You know, probably dragging a book to your parents and asking them to read you a story, and it might have been Peter Pan, it might have been Wizard of Oz, it might have been any one of those things. And this is a great musical, and it's such a lot of fun, and I wanted to be a part of it, so I jumped in.
Now, you were a producer, but not a lot of people know this, but I happen to know that Bryan Cranston is a bona fide song and dance man. He's been withholding for a little bit. He's gonna one of these days. I don't know. Is it gonna be Hedwig? Is it gonna be what show? Like, is there any show from like way back when that you just said I always want to do that? Maybe as a kid, your first Broadway show, you said I wanted to do that. Any shows like that?
The first Broadway show I saw was in the late 70s, and it was Hair.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't believe it. Now, people are naked on stage, and it's like, oh my God, what have I come into? And ever since then, I've wanted to do a musical. And at some point, even though I'm not a song and dance man, I want to pretend that I am.
Well, you
I'm
can
going
act
to
through it.
believe that I am. Just like Finding Neverland, you've got to believe. And so, at some point, I am going to be on the Broadway stage doing a musical.
Well, we all hope and look forward to that, Bryan.
And
Thank
you're
you.
presenting tonight.
Yes,
correct?
I'm presenting. Yes.
Best play tonight, which is such an honor for me. There's so many good works out there, and it's hard to be able to say this one is best of all these wonderful shows. So.
Well, it promises to be a very exciting night. Bryan, thank you for stopping by, man. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Take care.
Thanks very much.
We are